Welcome to the SpiritWoke Podcast, podcasting from the beautiful city of Stillwater, the birthplace of Minnesota. Are you going through a spiritual awakening? Do you wish to learn more about continued spiritual growth and want to meet others who are on a similar journey? We hope that this podcast and its community can be a meaningful resource for you. The SpiritWoke Podcast welcomes special guests from around the globe who share personal stories of their awakening journey, along with details of spiritual abilities they've developed along the way. So buckle up and get ready for this exciting episode. And now, here's your host, Adam Dins.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the SpiritWoke Podcast. On this episode, we'll be speaking with Katrin Schmalz about her spiritual awakening and how she infuses spirituality into her art. I invited Katrin onto the podcast because she's someone who truly inspires my soul. I met Katrin on Instagram maybe a month or so ago, and I was immediately drawn to her artwork. In fact, she's brilliant. But what kept me and keeps me drawn into her content is the spiritual depth of the words that accompany her art, and that is what is so inspiring. So with that being said, welcome to the podcast, Katrin.
Hey.
Hey, Katrin, will you tell the audience who's listening in, what part of the world are you dialing in from?
I am in Gran Canaria. This is the Canarian Islands. The Canarian Islands from Spain.
Oh, wow. That would explain all the beautiful scenery in the photos that you share.
Yeah, this is really beautiful here, this island. You have to see it one time.
I can imagine. I live in Minnesota. Are you familiar with Minnesota in the United States?
Oh wow! I was never there.
Yeah, it's right now we're covered in snow and ice.
This sounds very cold.
It's very cold. So when I see your photos, it just warms my soul.
Yeah, we have 25 degrees here, and it's like summertime every time, so the whole year. So we go at the beach. We can go to the beach every day.
That sounds like the perfect place to live. I'll tell you that much. I would.
Really, is it?
Well, on that note, I'm going to get off of the location envy, and we'll start off the podcast with a question that I like to ask a lot of the guests that join. Because it's good, I think, for people who are going through a spiritual awakening or who are on the journey to hear different perspectives of the same question from the guests that we have on. So, Katrin, can you tell our listeners a little bit about your spiritual awakening and maybe describe what the journey has been like so far?
Yeah, of course. This was in 2016. Now we have 2019, so 2 years and a half ago. I was working like the head of the entertainment 9 years. And I had head pain and head attacks and the last few weeks in this job. And then I got like a burnout. And this was my awakening. No, I was not on my way, really not. I was so far from my way, much more far impossible. And and this was my awakening. So I can't go back to this job. Was impossible. I have like attacks, like nerve attacks when I have to go back. And so I was questioning me, what is my way? What my body is done with me? Or I'm dying, or I don't know. And then I was starting, I meet a few of persons, very spiritual persons on my way, and was a yoga teacher also. And she told me a little bit about spirituality. I was going to her yoga class, and I started to read a book, The Secret. And I don't know, you know The Secret?
I do know The Secret. I have not yet read it, but I am very familiar with the overall theme of it for sure.
Oh, yes. Oh, The Secret is so good. Yeah. Yeah, and the Thankful book is also very good. But yeah, and then I started to search my own way. I started only with healthy things, and I started to put out dark people of my life, so with a low energy, and I call it like energy vampires. I don't know, you understand me good?
Yes,
And yeah, oh, you understand me. Thank you.
absolutely.
And oh, thank you. And then yeah, and I started to do everything what was not really healthy for me to put out of my life. I started a very healthy life. I stopped the cigarettes. I stopped with alcohol. I started only with a sporty and healthy life, and I started consciously with a healthy and high life on a high vibration. So, and yeah, this was my awakening. And I was the first year only searching my way. I think like everybody. So the meaning for my way, and yeah, it's art for me, because this was my passion when I was a teenager. And the most things we find out where's our way when we are searching our joy when we was in the teenager age. So and this was for me my art. Yeah, I
Yep.
don't know. This is enough explained.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so interesting how, you when we go through an awakening, not just our human selves change, but the people in our lives seem to change, right? Like and not maybe completely. Obviously, there are people who stay in our lives that we've known throughout entire lives, but to your point, as our vibrations raise, or as we or new things become important to us, or even
Yeah.
some people think we're just weird and and they don't want to be connected to us anymore. But the universe just makes it happen so that the right people are in our lives to help support us through the journey and to kind of just ride along with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm totally with you. So I think this is normal on the first time. It's like a little bit strange when the people saying to you, you are crazy, or are looking to you like somebody crazy. I mean, yeah, we don't have to judge nobody and never. Yeah, but I think we meet this persons who is on our own frequency. These persons we meet in this time, and the other people, maybe the dark people, get out of our life, or come with us and be open also for the spiritual way.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about how not just the different vibration, right? But when someone goes through a spiritual awakening, to your point, you mentioned you gave up cigarettes and you gave up drinking and a lot of the bad habits, or not there. We tend to not call things good or bad, right? Because that's that's it's an interpretation. But the habits that weren't serving you, you gave up. And I had the same experience, in a matter of days, I stopped doing a lot of the things that I thought were unhealthy, and it just felt right to do it. But have you felt that in your journey, people who knew you before, and how do I ask this the right way? For at least in my experience, it's like, wow, Adam, like, what do you mean you're into Reiki, or what do you mean you're meditating? I thought you were the guy that used to, I mean, do you find that people sometimes have a hard time digesting your transformation, like, because you're not the person who you used to be?
Yeah, but this is for me. It's still now is very normal, so there's nothing strange anymore.
Yes, because it's been a couple of years for you, so now you've kind of moved into that new space where
and that's still normal, and I don't wonder why people are closed or don't like to talk with me. Or for me, I just trust in universe that the right persons cruise my way and stay with me, and the right persons like to talk with me, and these other persons from my past. And I had so dark people in my life. For me, it's not a wonder I had a burnout.
Yeah.
Not only because of the job. When you open your eyes and all your sense, and you start really looking at the things and at the persons, it's not a wonder when you are far from your way, from your own light way. You meet also other persons. It's only your mirror. That these persons are far from his way also. So when you start to wake up and to take around and go your way, your light way, you cannot be manipulated anymore. The people can not lie you anymore, or can tell you something and you just believe it only because they tell it. Every time we search our own true, our own lovely true. And if something is not the true, and the people can't manipulate you anymore, so they don't like to be with you, because they can't control you anymore. And then you are like a different person. And so on the first time for me was really hard to feel this. I have lost in the last year 3 very long friends. So but I'm trying to get back my friends with all love, with cards and with something, with flowers, but it's like impossible.
Yeah.
So because these persons are not meaning anymore in my life, and the new persons I have met in the last 1 or 2 years are so different, so much lighter, so much more open-hearted, so much warmer. Like my mirror, my own mirror. They are also searching his own journey. Very creative people. I can't explain you, but just lovely, lovely souls. I'm so happy for this change.
Yeah, you're so right about that, and I hadn't really thought about the mirroring effect, and it's really interesting to think about, like, let me ask you this question: do you believe that if a person wants to assess where they are spiritually, is to look at who their friends are, or who the people that they're attracting into their lives?
No, this question I don't understand. Sorry.
So you know how you said that we attract people who are like us. So in the spiritual sense, when you awakened in your vibration raised, that you started attracting people. The universe started bringing people to you that were on a similar, say, wavelength, right? That's
my mirror image.
Your mirror image. So if somebody's wondering to themselves, how, about where they are spiritually, because I know there are a lot of people who ask that question, like, am I awakening? Am I awakened? Am I, not that anyone's ever fully awakened, but I guess what I'm asking is a good way to assess or judge where you are spiritually by looking at the relationships that you have with people, since it is a mirror. And if you're seeing relationships that maybe, like to your point, are a little bit darker, is that a reflection of the person, do you think?
Yeah, I don't understand everything completely, but it's a reflection of the person. When you have tell this what I mean. For me, the person and the soul is not the same. So the soul is every time like a little child wondering what's happened in this world, and lovely. And even it's a killer, his soul is a warm-hearted child.
Yes.
You understand me?
Absolutely.
It's only what the society or the matrix, I don't know how do you call it, but have made of this person. This is what we see outside, and what this person is telling us, or something dark or light is not important. When the person speak only from the head and not from the heart, this is society shit for me. It's nothing is condition, the condition of the society, and have nothing to be with the soul. So for me, I love everybody, even if if this person look like from outside like a dark person or feels not good. I love everybody, because in this person, in this body, is sleeping a little girl or a little boy, a little soul, so lovely, and is like engaging in this body, and have to live this dark life with this society body. So for me, everybody is wonderful and nice and lovely, and we don't have to judge nobody. I don't know, this explain a little bit your question.
Yeah, no, and for those who are those listening in, there is a little bit of a language barrier between Katrin and I, but but as we before the podcast we were chatting, and you know what's important will come through, and I think actually you hit on such a good point with what you just said, which is something that I think gets overlooked a lot, and just when we meet people that we don't necessarily feel a connection with, or they're just a different frequency, or there's just like a bad vibe,
yes.
which is that, we're all the universe. We're all created from the same energy and the same source, and that consciousness is truly who we are. But at the same time, our life experiences and our from the time that we're born until the time that we pass away affect our ego. And when we meet people who haven't maybe yet started the awakening process, and even some who have, we end
sleeping souls.
Yeah, exactly. So we end up interacting with the ego, and it's important for us to realize that that's not who the person is, and it's important to love people regardless, because all of us were played that ego for many years before we started to realize that there's hey, you know what? There's something a little bit deeper here that exists that's so much different than my ego.
Yeah, totally. I agree totally. Yeah.
That was a brilliant point. So
lovely to speak with you. Thank you.
Well, I'm definitely going to dive into that book. I have it's now on my list to read for sure. So
thank you.
So one of the statements that you made on Instagram in one of your posts that really resonated with me, and by the way, we'll share Katrin's Instagram address at the end of the podcast here. But one of the things you'll notice when you look at her beautiful artwork is that within each of the pieces that she shares, she always has something really provocative and interesting to say or ask. And it's, as I mentioned in the introduction, it's one of the reasons why I invited her on the show, is because there's so much depth to everything that she does. And so one of the very welcome. One of the quotes that you had on a piece of artwork that you shared was, when our vibration is low, we ask for miracles. And when our vibration is high, we create them. So what I wanted to ask you is, can you explain what that means to you, and how do you personally keep your vibration on high, or how do you keep it high?
Yeah, this is, I don't know, you know this book of Pam Grout, Be Thankful and Get Rich. This get rich have nothing to be with wield of outside. First we start to get wield inside and the wheels outside come automatically. You understand me?
Yes, absolutely. So what you're saying is you connect. Eckhart Tolle says something similar, where you have an inner purpose and an outer purpose, and that inner purpose is to connect with your soul. And once you connect with your soul and you're present, that the universe starts to unveil this outer purpose of your life.
Yes. But first we have to become rich inside.
Yes.
So, and how we become on this high frequency, I have learned it from Pam Crowd, from her book. I'm listening this book every day as an audiobook. And very beautiful. When we are, I'm sure you have listened something that you have to be grateful to come on the highest frequency.
Yes.
So the highest frequency, So the highest frequency mean you are in a frequency like a radio. And this frequency, what we have on this frequency are other persons too. So when you are in a really high frequency of love and gratitude, then you meet also this person's souls, creatures who are in this high frequency. And you see only love. You can't see another thing it's like the clouds of your head are out. Before you have many clouds in your head, or I call it the trolls.
Yep.
The voices in your head, the bad voices in your head, they're calling every time, you are horrible, you are not nice, or you can't do that.
Yes.
This is our condition of the society, for my own. And these voices we can get out when we are thankful. So that means in the morning when we can do little rituals. And what I do in the morning is only example. I have many. I start before I wake up, for example. I put my hand on my breast and my belly, and I tell to my own, good morning, little Katty.
Nice.
Sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Please let me see today only positive experience. Thank you for the 24 hours positive experience or miracles, or what do you want on this day positively? And then I wake up and I search miracles. That means I search only, I put my attention only on positive things. And that means also what is very, very helpful to come to a highest frequency, when you start to do little rituals. For example, in the morning, you go to Facebook, to WhatsApp or something else, or you write it to your mother.
Yes.
And you write everything for what you are thankful for the last day. So thanks for this nice dinner. Thanks for this nice sunset. Thanks for this complicated situation. Also being thankful for bad things in the society. Thank you for this wonderful moment yesterday with my friends. Thanks for the good coffee. Thanks for everything. For everything what you see, what you have experienced, and then you will see, you will feel it. You will feel it when you come in. I'm sure you know this feeling when you feel it like you are in a flow.
Yeah.
When you go to the highway, everything with a car, everything goes very easy. So you don't feel really your body. You feel like you have not weight.
Yeah.
You are not flying, but the day is very easy going, and sometimes happens little miracles also, and and this is calling the highest frequency for me. I don't know. I have explained it a little bit.
I think you explained it beautifully, and I'm so happy you brought up your morning ritual and what you do, because I think it's important for people who are going through an awakening to stay on a high frequency, to do those things, whether it be meditation in the morning, and clearing the mind, if it's affirmations. I've been studying Reiki healing, and there's a really there are 5 principles in Reiki that I love, and we say it to ourselves 5 times, once a day, or twice a day, in the morning and in the evening, and it goes a little something like, just for today, I will let go of anger. Just for today, I will let go of worry. Just for today, I will give thanks for my many blessings. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. And just for today, I will be kind to my neighbor and every living thing.
Oh, beautiful.
Isn't it? And if you say something like that, or you just introduce these types of and I hate to call it a ritual, but it's something that you do on a regular basis, it just sets the tone for the rest of the day and your dreams at night as well.
Yeah, of course. I do in the night. Before I sleep, I take again my hands to my breast and my belly, and I say thank you to my little to my inner child, Kati.
Yes.
I say to her, thank you for this beautiful day, and also to my soul and my higher self. So I speak with my 3, I don't know how to call it, to myself. I say thank you to myself for this beautiful day and all what happens on this day. And then I say thankful to the universe and to my angels and all creators helping me, my supporting creators. And then I sleep, and I sleep every time nice. I have nice dreams.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's. I think this is even the different when you are a sleeping soul. I don't know, you have this experience too. When I was a sleeping soul, I had every time dark dreams, like dark dreams, and now I have so many times like a movie, very lighty dreams.
Yeah, dreams are such a especially when your soul starts to awaken, right? And you're able to really appreciate dreams and what they mean or might mean, or it's good to be in a good spot with your dreams, for sure. But even in the dreams, there are times where I still have dreams that aren't as happy go lucky, but I look for the meaning in those dreams. Like, why did I have that dream, and what am I supposed to learn from that dream, and is there a consistent theme in that dream?
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So Katrin, I'd love to. So we've talked a little bit about your how you keep your vibration high and what it means to you.
Yeah.
I'd also like to take this in a different direction, and let's talk a little bit about your art. And as I've mentioned already on multiple times, that your work is beautiful. It's amazing. And even before reading anything that you share in terms of words along with your art, it was I should say, before even reading the context, right, the words that went along with the paintings that you shared, I knew that your artwork was influenced by spirit. And so my question for you is, can you talk about the process that you use to create your art, and how would you describe the process of infusing your spirituality within your art?
Yeah, of course. I was painting before my awakening too, And I mean, these paintings are beautiful, and I sell more paintings of this, the old ones, than the new ones. But my old paintings was a little bit dark, more sexual. And I think you can feel it. I was not awaking. So, and then when it was my awaking, I started to tell to the universe when I paint, please lead my hands. And now I have much more light here, my paintings. And I just lead the universe my hand. So maybe I never know what message will get this. What's the message of my painting? I don't know it before. I just start to paint something. For example, I have an idea. I have seen some scenery or some nice photo of people, and then I have like a aha moment, and I'm thinking, oh, this I like to paint, yeah. And then I make a mix of that, and the message come alone. You understand me? It's not. I don't do nothing for this message. The message come alone from the universe, and then I go a step back. And then I see this message, and then I find, oh, wow, how I have done that.
So let me ask you this question. So what you're saying is, and I may be wrong here. So you see something in your mind, or maybe you see something with your eyes that inspires you, and you want to paint it, and then you ask. Before you start to paint, you ask the universe to guide your hands, and then once you're done painting, once you're done painting, then the message comes to you from the universe about what that means.
Yes. But then the painting is finished. When I finish with the painting, the message comes. It comes not before. Sometimes a little bit before. It's depend, but it's a process, it's not, I don't force a special message.
I think that is so important, because essentially what you're talking about is you're taking the ego out of it, right? Like because it can become tempting, and almost not even tempting, but just based on who, we used to be in a lot of ways. And I'm guilty of it myself sometimes, is trying to do something on your own instead of relying on the universe to bring something through. And so, like if sometimes, same thing can be said if someone asks you for advice about something. You can definitely tell when you're trying to, when you're trying too hard to be spiritual and to give.
No, this don't work. This is not.
No, and you can tell when you're speaking too. I've had it where it's like, oh my gosh, what am I saying, and why am I saying this? I just need to shut up. And if it's the right message, when it's time to share the message, the universe will give me the words to say. Spirit will give me the words to say, because it's not like it's something coming from outside of us. It's already inside of us. But we have to be quiet enough and connected enough and sensitive enough to be able to, to receive that. And it sounds like to me, it sounds like what you're saying is that your artwork, you probably get into a very meditative state when you're creating, and what that does is it sort of opens you up to receive that communication from your soul and from the universe.
Yeah, I think when you make a creative artwork, and this is your passion, really your passion, and for me it's my passion. I'm so much times too quick. I finish too quick my paintings, and then I'm a little bit sad because I like to paint a bit more. But when you have set the eye point, then you don't have to touch it again, because you will you will make it how to say it wrong. I don't know how to say it. We have to lead us. We have to lead the universe. It's not a question. If, for example, I have started in the first time of this year, I was coming from Germany and I was a little bit ill and I didn't feel good, but I was pressure myself to start to paint again because this is my job. So, and I started to paint a painting so dark.
Oh, wow.
This was like the matrix is leading me. So like a pressure. So I was just painting like 2 days and then I have put it away and I told, no, that's not me. I have it right now in front of me and I don't like it. And I think we have to be still and we have to be in silence and very relaxed and center in us to become creative, to work for the universe. So, and when you done start, you are directly on the highest frequency. I don't know why is it like this, but that's the point. It's not very difficult.
Yeah, one of the things that we've talked about in many of the podcasts so far is just being present, right? And it's
the moment.
Yeah, and it's so easy to think about the future or the past and let that dictate your present moment. But I think what you're saying is, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is that if you're present in the moment and you're connected to your soul and to the universe, that you don't have to force things to happen because it's just going to come. It's going to arise.
Very easy. Yeah. It's like an apple. When an apple is not, just my English. When an apple is falling from the tree, then that's the moment. That's the easy moment. And when we force to take this apple from the tree before, we have to force it. We have, and that's not the right moment. And this is like everything in our life. Everything when we are relaxed and centered in us, in the moment, then everything comes to us. We don't have to run for it. We don't have to search it. Searching comes from the matrix. Running comes from the matrix. Hurry comes from the matrix. That's not us. We can just still following our joy and doing what we like to do or what's our passion and then we are relaxed and then the things come to us and then we can take action.
I just want to share that your joy is infectious and it's wonderful. And hearing you laugh as you kind of spoke and shared much of your story and your experience, it was I was smiling and laughing along over here with you and
thank you.
Of course, and it was an honor to speak with you. I do want to share that if you want to learn more about Katrin's art, I'm going to give you her website address, which is on Instagram for now, but she'll have more to come soon. And when the page, obviously, that you'll find this podcast on, if it's not updated now, it will be updated with more relevant information about where to find Katrin's art. But if you just go to Instagram, so instagram.com/ and her username is Katy, which is Katy, Canarias, which is CANARIAS.ART. So katecanarias.art on Instagram. You'll find her there. So follow her artwork, connect with her. She asks lots of great questions, puts forth a lot of spiritual insights and knowledge. I promise you that your spirit will be fed by connecting with Katrin. And so, Katrin, thank you so much for joining the SpiritWoke podcast today. It was an honor to have you.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
And until next time, everyone, take care of yourselves.
Thanks for listening to the SpiritWoke Podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to check out our website, spiritwoke.com, and connect with the SpiritWoke community on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search SpiritWoke. Join us next time for another edition of the SpiritWoke Podcast. Namaste.